What's up, everybody? Welcome to this complete overview of Switcher Studio. If you haven't watched the previous video, you should go back and check it out. In there, we show you how to create an account, how to link your Facebook account, and also how to go live for the first time using a private test stream. So if you haven't seen that one yet, go find that video and please watch that one, and it will help you understand where we're starting from with this one. In this video, we're gonna continue to do a complete overview of Switcher. So since we can't cover every little detail throughout this video, we're gonna be putting keywords on the screen so that you can go search and find answers to some of those commonly asked questions in our knowledge base. And the first keyword we're gonna put on the screen for you today is support.switcherstudio.com. So make sure you go to support.switcherstudio.com. It'll help you answer a lot of early questions that you might have, and you can use the keywords from this video to go directly to some of those topics that are important to what we're talking about today. So today I have an iPad that I'm going to be running my production off of, but I've also got a couple additional devices. I've got two iPod Touches and an iPad mini. So if you want to see the list of all the devices that you can use with Switcher Studio, please make sure you check out the list of compatible devices on our knowledge base. That will tell you every device that you can use, and the complete list is right there. So just make sure you go check out the list of compatible devices. It'll tell you all the devices that work with Switcher Studio. So in today's overview, we're going to look at the layout of the application. We're going to add some custom graphics from the camera roll. We're going to connect multiple cameras using our local Wi-Fi network. And we're just going to look at some of the special features that Switcher Studio has to offer. Now, before I start, I've gone ahead and put every device on the same Wi-Fi network. So all four of these devices have already been connected to my local Wi-Fi network. So they're all on the same network right now. And I went ahead and launched Switcher on all the devices. I've gone ahead and launched Switcher Studio on this iPad that I'm going to be running the production off of. The first thing you need to do is to log in. You can only be logged into one device at a time that's running a production. So in the previous video, we were running the production from my phone, but this time we're on a different device and it's an iPad, so I'm going to need to log in. So the iPad interface looks a little bit different than what you would see on a phone, but it gives you a lot more space to do some more things. In the upper right, we have the program window. This is what's being recorded to the iPad or what's going out live if you're broadcasting. Over to the left, this is where all of your assets and sources will go. Any camera sources that you have and any graphics or any pre-recorded videos will all be listed over here so that you can queue them up live. Once you have a lot of assets, you can make this area work better for you by tapping on these buttons below. It just gives you a little bit more room to see everything that you've got in your production, and it's really helpful to have that little option there. So on the bottom right, we have the Outputs tab that's highlighted right now, but you can see there are a lot more tabs. So let's go to the first one, which is called the Inputs tab. So in this tab, you can see all the available sources. So the first one, obviously, is the built-in camera on this device. So that's the camera that's on this iPad. You can also see different sources that are on your network. Before we started, I went ahead and connected all these devices to the same Wi-Fi network. Whenever you launch Switcher on a device, it'll show up in the list. So right now, here's a list of the iPod Touch that's right in front of me, and also the iPad mini that's over here to this side. But I've actually got another iPod Touch that hasn't been added yet. All we have to do is launch Switcher Studio on this device, and it will appear in the list of sources on your Wi-Fi network. So I just got it launched, and there it is, right there. So if you want to add or remove cameras, you just tap them on this list here. I'll go ahead and tap on the source I just added. All right, and there's my remote camera. If you want to remove a device, you just tap on it again, and it will be removed from your sources. So if you want to connect multiple devices, just select them from the list by tapping on them, and you'll see a blue check mark appear next to it. And just like that, I've got another source. So that's how you add remote cameras. You connect all your devices to the same Wi-Fi network, then launch Switcher on each remote camera, and when you come to your production Switcher, you just look in your Inputs tab and select devices you want to add as a source. All right, so now let's add some custom graphics and maybe some pre-recorded videos. So if you look in your sources area, there's a plus button. So if we tap on that plus button, you're going to see an option for assets. It allows you to import things like photos, videos. You can bring in things that you've already recorded in Switcher from the recorded media folder. There's also dynamic templates where you can make custom lower thirds. So let's just start by adding a photo from our camera roll. So if we just tap on all photos, here's a list of all the photos that are currently on this device. So I'll just pick one right here. So there's a couple different ways that an image can be presented on the screen. So the first one is use as image, and this will just take your image and make it a full screen photo. If your image doesn't fit to the edge of the frame, you can use a feature called edge spreading, which will take the edge pixels and spread them out. And maybe if edge spreading doesn't look good to you, you can choose an outer color. So the edge pixels will now be a specific color. So we'll choose something like, I don't know, this kind of bluish color. There, so now my image has a background to it. You can also try to get your image to fit the frame by choosing the frame option there, just toggling between fitting it to the side or to the top. So I'm going to choose fitting it to the side because I think that looks better. So I'm going to say done now. So now I've got that as a source, and when I tap on that, you'll see a red outline goes around it, and that's also filling the screen. So now that's the image that's in my production. Like, that is what is going to be recorded, and that's what would be seen live if I wanted. So let's add another kind of image. So I'm going to tap on the plus button again. And at the very bottom, I'm actually just going to choose this sample image called app icon. So for this one, I'm going to choose corner bug. That's the bottom option in the list. This is a great way of putting your logo on the screen down in the corner. Switcher Studio supports PNGs with transparency. So if you have any images that don't have a background to them, you can put them on the screen and you can kind of see through them and see behind them. The great thing about this too is that you can take this logo and you can move it anywhere you want on the screen. So if you prefer to have it in the top right corner, you can put it over there. If you need to have it in the left, you can put it over there. We're just going to leave it down here on the right for now. And when you're ready, you can just say done. All right, so now we've got a logo in the corner, we've got a full screen graphic. Let's add a pre-recorded video. So I hit the plus button again, and now we can see the assets menu pops up. This video I know is in my imported video folder. So there it is, I'm gonna choose this option. And again, we have some of the same options you get with a full screen image layer, but this one fills the whole frame, so we don't need to put any outer color on it or do any edge spreading or fix the frame. So I'm happy with this, so I'm gonna choose done. And now I've got a pre-recorded video that I can launch. All right, lastly, let's add another graphic. And this time we're gonna make a custom lower third. So I'll hit the plus button one more time. And now you can go down to the dynamic templates. And this time I'm gonna choose a social overlay. So in this list, we've got a list of some common social media platforms. So this is a great way of just reminding people how to find you there. And you can put this on the screen during your production. So I'm just gonna make one real quick for YouTube. And when you're ready, just hit done. And so now I've got a lower third that tells everybody how to get to Switcher Studio's YouTube. So that's just one great way that you could do this. So just for fun, I'll add another one here that is gonna be a lower third, and for this one, I'll just put our website up there, or you can put your own, so make sure you customize it to be whatever you want. So now I've got another one there. If I want to make the graphics leave the screen, just tap on them, and then to bring them back, you just hit the button again. And there we go. I've got a reminder to everybody to go to switcherstudio.com. All right, so we've added multiple cameras, we've added full screen graphic, we've got a corner bug down in the corner, we've added custom lower thirds that are pointing to our YouTube channel. We've even got a custom lower third that's pointing people to a website. So now let's get creative and let's do a multi-view. So I'm gonna add another asset and I'm gonna choose from the list multi-views. So multi-views allow you to put multiple sources on the screen at once. And we've got a couple different templates that'll help you get started with this. So one of the most common ones and easiest to understand is the picture-in-picture. And with this, you can see we have A, which is the source that will be in the background, and then we have B, which is the source that will be in front of it, but scaled down, and it's like a picture inside of a picture. You can actually take the second source and move it to another location. So I'm gonna put this over here to the left side. All right, so whenever you tap on a multi-view, it'll give a yellow outline saying that you're creating a multi-view. And now I can tap on source A, which I'll choose is this camera right here. And then for source B, I'll choose this one over here. And now you can see I've got both cameras on the screen at the same time. And this is just an interesting way to highlight multiple things. You could tap on like the image and you can send it to B. So that full screen image, I'm gonna send that into B. So now B contains that full screen image that I've got right over here. You could also send a pre-recorded video into that source. So if I tap on the pre-recorded video and I choose B, so now it's sent that pre-recorded video down into B. As long as the multi-view source is highlighted, you're gonna be sending multi-views. So let's go ahead and toggle multi-view off by tapping on it, and then I'll just tap on my original source to go back to that. Another quick way of doing a multi-view is to just long press on a graphic that you have and then just choose Combine. And this will automatically create a multi-view using the dashboard effect. This is a really useful and easy way just to get a multi-view up on the screen without having to toggle a multi-view on or off. And whenever you're done with that, you can just tap on the source that you want to be the live one, and it'll just animate out really nicely and cleanly, just like that. Different multi-views will have different options for sending things in and out of them, so definitely go check out more about multi-views, read about all the different types that you can include in Switcher Studio, and have fun with it. So now that we've added all that, let's look at some of the other features in Switcher. Let's go to the effects menu. It's down here in the bottom. It's the third tab. In the effects menu, we can control things like the cross dissolve or how the transition from one camera angle to the other one is. So in this case, I'm going to transition from this camera to this camera. And you can see that's a cut transition. If I want that to be a little bit smoother, I can choose cross dissolve, and in that case, it'll actually make a smooth transition from one to the other. There's also some fun ones like the wipe. You can even do a cube or a twist. For now, I'm just going to leave it on cross dissolve while we go to the next menu item. So just there to the right of effects, we have the camera control menu. With Switcher Studio, you can remotely control things. So for example, I can grab the zoom slider that's there in the program output, and I can zoom a camera in. You can also control things like the focus. So I can choose manual focus and tell the device to focus on a specific location. If you set it up to automatic, you can always just tap in the program window there and it'll automatically choose focus. Same thing with exposure. If you choose this option, you can manually control exposure. You can even lock these values down so that if you're out in the sunlight and the clouds are passing over, your exposure doesn't constantly change. Also, you can make it so your focus doesn't jump around if your subject is moving around. So this is a good feature to have where you can lock those values down, or you can always just leave them set to A, which stands for automatic. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock the focus and the exposure of this device because I like the way that everything looks. There's a lot of information on capturing the perfect exposure and what proper white balance is. And for more information on that, make sure you visit our knowledge base to see what camera controls are important to you when you're trying to set the right exposure and white balance. So make sure you go check that out at support.switcherstudio.com to learn more how you can use this menu. All right, so let's talk about audio real quick with Switcher Studio. In the next tab next to camera control, there is an audio tab. And what we have here is the ability to monitor audio that's going in each of our devices. So the first one says audio from main switching device. So the audio on the main switching device is what goes into the program output. So what your audience is gonna hear and what's gonna be recorded to the final video is what's going into this main iPad. The most important thing to note is that the sound that goes into your production is what is in the main production switcher. It does not include the sound from other devices. So there are a number of ways to get audio into this device. By default, the built-in microphone on your main production switcher is gonna be the audio source that goes into your recording or gets broadcasted out live. So if you're not happy with the built-in microphone on your device, there are a number of ways of getting sound into an iOS device. So for example, one of the easiest ones is an iRig. It lets you use the headphone and microphone combo jack to inject audio with an XLR connector. There are also some options where you can use a digital connection using the camera connector kit. So if you're not happy with the built-in microphone and you want to include sound from something like a mixer or a wireless microphone, make sure you visit our knowledge base and look up this keyword. It has a lot of information on the best way of getting audio into your production that's a little bit better than the built-in microphone. So lastly, let's look at some advanced settings. If we go to our Outputs tab, first, we have that list of all of our broadcasting options. Below the broadcast options, we have the recording options. So let's check out the advanced settings here. Switcher Studio allows you to record each remote camera that you have connected to your production. So when you turn this feature on, Switcher will tell each individual device to record remote camera angles for each device. The main production switcher will still just record the main program output. If for some reason you don't want to record the program feed, you can turn off Record Live Output. I don't know why you'd ever do that. You might as well just record it. But if you really don't want to record the live output, you can turn that off. I'm going to turn that back on. Let's go back to the main Outputs menu. And if we scroll down there near the bottom, we'll see a submenu called Wi-Fi Camera Communication. Just go ahead and tap on Optimize For. This menu gives you some options for prioritizing how your cameras are going to communicate over your wireless network. If you're seeing that you're getting a lot of lag or cameras are being very jumpy, you want to definitely set this optimize option for bad Wi-Fi. This is because your Wi-Fi network is having difficulty handling the communication between cameras. This allows Switcher to buffer the video and make sure that things are being communicated much more clearly. It's going to make sure your videos are transmitting a lot cleaner. It's going to make for a better production, especially if you have a lot of different devices connected to the same Wi-Fi network. So one more time, let's go back to the main outputs menu. If you scroll through this menu, you'll see an option called Director Mode. When we enable Director Mode, you'll see a pop-up menu that describes exactly what's going on with Switcher. This is an advanced way of using Switcher Studio that allows you to balance the best of both worlds when it comes to live streaming efficiency and high-quality post-production. If you want to learn more about how to use Director Mode, you definitely need to check out this article on support.switcherstudio.com. Director Mode is a really powerful feature. It's extremely useful for those of us that want to do post-production workflows and are interested in doing both live streaming at an efficient rate that can be viewed by our audience, but at the same time, we want the highest possible quality recording. Some devices can even record in 4K, so using Director Mode allows you to trigger 4K recording on some devices and make sure you get the highest possible quality for a recording after the fact, but during your production, you're making sure that everything's communicating wirelessly at something that's totally reasonable and can be handled by your Wi-Fi network. All right, so we've added custom graphics from our camera roll. We've even added a logo that we can put down in the corner. We've added pre-recorded videos that we can launch and cut to in the middle of our productions. We've created a custom lower third, and we've seen how to get into those custom templates so you can make your own. We've added our website at the bottom so that people know to go check out the website. We've included a multi-view, and we've made 2 different sources appear on the screen at the same time. So now let's go live to Facebook. So what I'll do is go back to the Outputs tab, and I'll tap on the arrow next to Facebook. So since I've already linked my account in the previous video, it's actually going to remain linked here because it's connected to my account. So in the options for Stream To, I'm going to select a page this time. So when you go to select a page, this is a list of all the different pages that I'm an administrator of. So if you're an admin on a Facebook page, then you can stream directly to that using Switcher Studio. So I'll just go to our list, and I'm going to choose this live testing page that we have. You can enter a stream title for the title of your stream, and then the description is actually what's going to show up in the post on Facebook for this video. So I'm going to put a little description that just says this is a test. So once you've got your description in there, you can choose a stream quality. You can base this on how well your network is performing, but once you've set a quality that you like, just go ahead and tap Create Live Stream. All right, so now I've set up a live stream to a page that I'm an administrator of on Facebook. So now that it's set up there in the Outputs tab, all I have to do is tap on the record button. So as soon as the Live plus Record icon lights up, and as soon as the timer is rolling, that means that you're broadcasting live. So now that I've got my production going, I'll just start running cameras. So, hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is Jimmy. I want everybody to definitely check out this video that I've got over here. And I'll add my logo to the corner. I'll go ahead and remove the logo, but then remind everybody to check out our YouTube page. I'm going to tap on a source to go back to that one, and then I'll go back to the main one. And now one last reminder for everybody to go visit our website, www.switcherstudio.com. So once you're done broadcasting, all you need to do is hit the stop button. Now you may get a dialog that pops up that says transferring to server. So what Switcher is doing is it's making sure your video goes out to Facebook, and it's making sure that the entire video gets there. Don't dismiss this dialog. Just let your video finish transferring to the server. Otherwise, your audience might not see the entirety of your video. So allow the transfer to the server to complete. If you want to go review your recording you just did, just go to the upper left of the main menu, and you can tap into the recorded media menu, and here's a list of all the recordings that you've done. And I'll go ahead and view that one, and now we can just take a quick look back at this live production that we did. I'll scrub through it so we can see some of the switches that we made. So there's our recording there in the recorded media folder, and from there we can send it to a computer, you can save it elsewhere, you can send it into your camera roll, and this just gives you access to that video so you can do something with it later on if you want. All right, everybody, that's a lot of stuff, and that should be more than enough info to get you going with Switcher Studio. You can find far more information in our knowledge base at support.switcherstudio.com. And don't forget, if you don't have an account yet, you can always create a free trial. Just go to switcherstudio.com and sign up. You'll get a full-featured trial. It'll let you run through everything that we've gone through in this video, and you can learn to do great productions using Switcher Studio. So that's it for this video. If you're not already, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can find all sorts of cool resources, information. So also join the user group on Facebook. Just search for Switcher Studio Enthusiasts, and you can find a whole network of people who are using Switcher Studio, who are having success, learning from each other, and figuring out new ways to make great productions using Switcher Studio. So that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching this. Please like and subscribe and follow us on Facebook. See you later.